Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to the vlog. It is my first video of 2020 and as you guys can see, I'm still at home. It is super early in the morning. I just got back from training. I couldn't hold myself back. Today is a big day. It is almost mid-January. Hey Nooni, they're getting ready to go to school, so you can actually tell that it is quite early. Nooni, show them the Habibi Let's Go merch. By the way guys, you can now buy merch that is Habibi Let's Go. So if you like to represent, if you like what you see, you can buy the merch. I'm going to put the link in the video, in the comments. I'm going to pin it so that you guys can look at that. But anyways, today is the first video of 2022. I'm super excited and there are a few changes that are happening in my life, which is why I haven't posted thus far, but they are excellent changes. As you all know, I am developing office warehouses ground up. I have found a lot of massive success in office warehouses. Now, of course, I raise money from investors. Number one, I develop these projects and I sell them as quickly as possible. Turnaround time could be anywhere from 1 to 2 years and we make significant returns, but I'm not here to talk about that. What I'm here to talk about today is we have an amazing day scheduled, amazing day planned, and I'm gonna film it to show you guys how I start 2022. I have some money goals this year. They're massive. I have my office that is getting built. I wanna show it to you guys as well. So I'm gonna show it to you later on in the video, hopefully when the sun comes out. And I am showered and dressed. So I'll see you guys in a second. And we're back, looking all fresh, feeling all fresh, getting ready for our morning live. So for those of you who don't know, I go live every single morning on TikTok and answer a lot of real estate related questions. I do it right here in my kitchen. And of course, we got our coffee brewing right there. We've got our coffee right there. We're gonna make breakfast and we're gonna go live on TikTok just like we do every single day. It's very exciting. I love talking. I love starting my day talking about real estate and how much money there is to be made in real estate. And the reason I hate Section 8 is because I don't like dealing with individual tenants. I actually don't like multifamily. In fact, I have huge news that I'm about to announce later today about my multifamily exits for this year. We're only January 14th. I've exited a huge portfolio of multifamily. I am actually signing the closing documents for that today, and that will bring me closer to exiting my multifamily real estate. I will have, after this exit, after all of these exits that I've had in 2020, 2021, and 2022, I will have only one property left, which I have told you about, that I am selling in the next 2 months. Now, I bought this property because it was a deal. It was sort of a bargain. It was off market. I was able to purchase this deal for $5 million, and I showed you guys that. And now I am going to sell the deal. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to sell it for just yet, but I will be taking you guys, of course, on a tour and showing you guys what I plan on doing as far as improvements and what price I will be selling that deal. In fact, I may have mentioned it on my TikTok in a few videos. Personally, I don't like property management. I think it's a very, especially multifamily property management, I think it's a very inefficient process, especially in the C-class apart or workforce housing or, you know, Section 8 type apartment communities. I rather prefer, if I'm gonna do multifamily, I wanna do A-class tenants only. And those are basically mid-rises or high-rises in my opinion. I think those have a good spot as far as management and operations, and you know, it's still not fully automated, but the processes are far more standardized than individualized, in which C-class, you know, they're very individualized and you have to kind of deal with each situation as it arises. So for that reason, no multifamily. If you're going to invest in real estate, what I can tell you is storage facilities are fully automated. Office warehouses, the stuff I do, are fully automated. There's a huge demand. There is not enough supply around the nation for those products. Okay guys, so we just got done signing. I had the title company come and sign all the documents here at my house because they're really far. They're in downtown Houston and I'm in Sugar Land, so it takes me about an hour to get there, and then parking, traffic, whatever. Anyways, convenience over everything else. So I'm just going to show you guys how much real estate I sold on the 14th. I don't know when you guys are going to get to see this, but on the 14th of January, I'm already off to a great start, and I sold a large chunk of my real estate portfolio. Well, not a large chunk, but a chunk of my real estate portfolio. Let me show you guys exactly how much money I sold in January of 2022. Okay, so the first property that we sold was, hold on, let it do, was 3 million. I'm just gonna round it up to keep things a little simpler. $3 million, first property. Second property, I'm just gonna round that up to $5 million. Okay, that's the sale price right there. And the third property we sold for 4.917, which I'm also gonna round up to $5 million. So basically, in the beginning of January 2022, I sold off about $13 million of my real estate portfolio. Now, is that a good thing? I think so. I think it's a great time to sell. Markets are at all-time highs. I made a ton of money on these deals, so I'm not too worried about getting into my next deals. And of course, I am offsetting some of these gains by doing a 1031 exchange, which means although I sold for $13 million, I have to buy for a value of $13 million or greater. And of course, this means that we are going to be buying more real estate in order to offset my gains so far. So just so you guys know, a 1031 exchange doesn't mean that you pay no tax. It means that you defer tax to a later time, and hopefully that number is going to be significantly larger. And of course the IRS knows all of this, and this service is there so that when I choose to defer no more, hopefully this number is going to be much greater than $13 million, let's say $50 or $100 million, and I decide to exit real estate for whatever reason, that is when they will collect their taxes. This also of course keeps the real estate market circulating. They keep us real estate guys invested in real estate and continue to buy. So now that I sold, I have to go and buy more real estate. So of course they keep us locked into real estate that way, and this is the system here in the United States. Now of course, is that a good thing? Yes. Is that a bad thing? Yes. The good thing is that we made money and it's all going to be tax deferred, not free, but deferred. The bad thing is that this is not liquid money coming into my pocket. So although I did make a significant amount of profit on these deals, I am actually not pocketing anything, which is okay. I don't need the money, so it's all right for me. But that is the downside of doing a 1031 exchange and deferring all your taxes for a later time. Now the good thing is, I am already looking at real estate that I think is going to do significantly well. I've also made an additional almost $1 million on one of the land deals that I sold. So I'm in pretty good shape for 2022. I am going to be buying a ton of property. And of course, all you guys need to do is subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to see what type of real estate I am going to buy, because I am going to keep you guys updated on what I am buying. Now, I may take you guys for a drive either today or in my next vlog and show you exactly what real estate I have sold. Now, it's a great start to 2022. This is my first video of 2022 and we're already off to a great start. So once again, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You guys are gonna get to see exactly the real estate that I am buying with this proceeds. Habibi, let's go. We're so excited. 2022, I think, is going to be an amazing year for real estate overall. And I forgot to show you one of the other checks I received for one of my other properties, and this is a refund. So this is money that I've already paid. This is not profit. This is a refund because I also sold one of my deals last year, end of last year, and ended up making a ton of money, and there was a credit that they forgot to give me, so they did send me a check. Let me show you how much that check is for. Here is that check. And this is almost, I'm going to round it up to $45,000. And we are still in the beginning of the day. It's still early in the morning. We're done with that. Now we can focus on the vlog and other things that I need to get done. We're heading to the bank. We need to deposit the checks, and we are going to be taking the SLS. I love this car. I'm enjoying driving it. I probably put way more miles than I should if I wanted to keep the value of this car where it's at. But I truly think that the value of the car is going up over time. So I don't think it really matters if I put a couple of thousand miles on it during my ownership. I think that'll be totally fine. Let's get into it. And of course, the reason that the SLS is none other than these gull-wing doors. Look at that. This is the way you make an entry. And the beautiful part about it is look at that gorgeous white interior. I just love it. This Arctic white finish is exactly the reason I bought this car. Nothing would be complete without a cold start. So this is an SLS cold start. Oh, just love the way this car sounds. Oh my god, I don't know if you guys can hear it. It won't come out as good on camera, but this is a cold start. Wow. And of course the gullwing doors are in fact open. So let's get those shut. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Driving the SLS is a true GT experience. Now, of course, me coming from the AMG GTS into an SLS, almost a 15-year older vehicle, I cannot tell you how good this vehicle is built. It doesn't feel like it's a 2012. It feels like it's something brand new. Of course, the infotainment system could use a little bit of updating, but the drive, the feel, for the time this car was launched is just ridiculous. It is beautiful. Every part is so well built that you really enjoy driving this car. Just look at that hood. It is literally never ending on the SLS. Just love this position that I'm in, this driving position that I'm in. It's just amazing. It's just awesome. Look at that. Just came home for a quick outfit change, and once again guys, the merch is online. I'm gonna link it in the bio. Anyways, I do want to drive the properties. It is getting a little cooler out there, and since we're gonna be out there, I thought I'd wear my hoodie. Let's go. And of course, we're gonna be taking the G-Wagon since we are going on site. It's a little windy guys, so I don't know if that's getting picked up or not, but G63 baby, that's what we want. And you can clearly tell that the wind is starting to pick up. You have stuff flying, and this is what we were expecting in Houston, Texas. I mean, you have stuff flying all over the street, to be honest. Probably a wiser idea to be in the G-Wagon today, for sure. I feel like it's gonna be one of those days where you just need a G-Wagon. Look at that brand new development. I wonder what they're building over here. I bet it's gonna be something super cool. It's right next to these brand new apartment complexes. Being a developer, I always get excited when I look at raw land, specifically raw land that I've been driving on for a very long time that is getting ready to be built. It's just super exciting. I just read actually what was coming there, and it seems to be some type of highway expansion. So I guess those apartment complexes are now going to be right next to a highway, which is obviously more convenient, I guess, for the residents, but I don't know exactly how the apartments that are facing the highway are going to feel. So it's a mixed bag of emotions. I actually thought that was a construction site, and then I looked on the other side. As you can see, there's construction here, and on that side is where the development was. So there's probably going to be a tunnel and a highway going right through it, which is good. I mean, which means that the area that I'm in is growing right now, that there is a need for a highway. And since this is my first video about 2022, And since this is my first video in 2022, I really want to make this about what my 2022 goals are. I've said them on my Instagram, on my TikTok, so if you don't follow me there. I've mentioned this many times, but my goal is to eventually make 9 figures, and I think I can do that in 2022. I don't know, I'm gonna try. I think I can in 2022. So it's a big goal. I'm gonna have to work really hard, but the good part is you guys are gonna be right here with me while I work hard and see whether I can achieve that goal or no. And hopefully I can, or at least get very close to it. No. So of course 2022 has already been really good to us because we sold $13 million of real estate, as you guys saw earlier, and now I'm actually taking you to the job sites that we did sell. I'm gonna show you all 3 apartment communities that we sold. I am transitioning out of multifamily and moving into industrial real estate just because it's a cleaner business. I actually make way more money in industrial real estate. Multifamily market has been good, but I think we can do better, guys. I think we can do better. And this is gonna be that year where we completely transition and do better. Now, by selling these almost 200 apartments that I owned, I now have a very small portfolio of apartment communities that I own in Houston, Texas. So I no longer own anything outside of Houston. And I think I'm gonna do fairly well on everything that I will exit in the apartment world. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm looking forward to building more ground up developments. I currently have 2 developments in the permitting phase, which I'm excited about, and I'm going to be raising money for a new development very soon, which I'm also excited about. And it seems like that is something that you guys want to learn more of. How do you raise money from investors? So in 2022, we're gonna go have some meetings. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I do it and how you can do it too. Now, the one downside of driving a G-Wagon in a windy day is basically you're driving a brick, and you can definitely feel the wind moving the car. Oh wow, look at this apartment community. I think they're just getting it newly painted. Now, this apartment community is right next to the one I own, and it seems to be going through a major exterior rehab. And usually when properties like this go through an exterior major rehab, like this one is not, that one is, that means that you have new ownership. That's when properties have recently traded hands and the new ownership is making power moves. Now, I'm gonna take you guys to my property, the one I just sold, and you guys may have seen this on the vlog many a time, but this is it over here. It's looking a little run down actually. Oh, it's probably because of the wind. You have like a little cart there that's trashed up. Property all in all is good. Parking is ample. Management was really happy with this property, and as you guys can see, we are here at the property. Now, this is one of the properties that I sold. Of course, I wanted to show you guys exactly what the property looks like. Now, it's not in the best of conditions, it's not in the worst of conditions. It just sold as is, and the reason I actually sold this property, now this property is next to multi-million-dollar homes next to Houston, and the land value here is significant. One of the reasons that I thought it was a good time to sell, of course, the market is really hot right now, but also because I think that not this buyer, but possibly the next buyer that buys this deal will buy it literally just for land value. Will probably tear it down and somehow figure out a way to redevelop the entire property. Let me give you guys a better view of the courtyard. So that is our leasing office slash management office. That over there is a courtyard parking structure. These are all the buildings. Of course, there's buildings behind me as well. And that is a massive courtyard. And that over there is a laundry room. So this is the property as it sits. Now, I honestly believe, although I got paid top dollar for this property still has more money that the new buyer is gonna make on it. And like I said, it could possibly be a teardown. It could possibly be that this person sells it at a cap rate, meaning they go in, they do all these improvements, they increase the cap of the property, and then they sell it for a massive profit. I still believe we still have a lot of room to run with this property. I did not put enough money into it. And as far as returns, I'm gonna talk about returns on all three properties, but as far as returns on this property, although this was the highest sale for me, which means this was the property that I believe we sold for 4.957, whatever it was, $5 million. This actually made the least amount of money for me and all the investors in the deal. So, sometimes you got to realize that just because the property sold for a significant price, you end up making not so much money as you would have liked. Now, the return cash on cash, I want to say is probably 60 to 70%, but it did take us 4 years to exit this deal. So if you do that on an annual basis, it's about 15% on this deal was the ROI. So we're gonna say bye to the property literally forever. Buy property, and we are gonna drive to the next property, which is in an amazing area called Spring Branch here in Houston, Texas. Right, and we are here at the second property. Now, this one is way nicer than the other one that we went to. This one is the one that we sold for about $3 million. The gate is closed. I could enter from there, but I just wanted to give you guys a tour on the property, honestly, from the outside. This is the smallest property of the three that we sold. This is a 46 unit property. Hold on, let me get down so we can talk a little better. Yeah, so like I was saying, this behind me is a 46 unit property, and we sold this for $3 million. I'm not going to speak loud because I don't want any of the tenants to get freaked out, but we did sell this property for $3 million. And as you guys can see, this one is actually in pretty good shape. We did put some rehab dollars into the deal, and we did take care of it quite a bit, honestly, to make sure that it looks like this. It wasn't this color when we bought it. It was like an ugly mustard yellow type color, and things were pretty old when we bought it. In fact, this gate wasn't even functioning when we bought the property. It wasn't there, I believe, when we bought the property. I think we're the ones who installed the gate. And this keypad, I wonder, okay, the keypad is working. This didn't used to work for a very long time. Even after we bought the property, someone had broken it. Anyways, it's fixed right now, as you guys can see. Property is in great condition. This property we sold for $2.944, which I'm rounding up to $3 million. And we made around 100%, but over, I believe it was 4 years that we held this property. So the return on this property is roughly around 25% a year, which is not bad at all in my books. 25% a year, I'll take any day. So this is that deal. It is looking beautiful, just like the G-Wagon in the sun. By the way, the weather today in Houston is just gorgeous, lovely weather. So anyways, this deal, beautiful location, very quiet, dead-end street. You know, I just loved it. Even the tenants in this deal loved this property. So absolutely beautiful. And it is Saturday. You guys can see there's a lot of cars in the parking lot. That's because it is a Saturday. It is a weekend when I'm filming this. So that is why that is going on. Once again, just going to give you guys a final overview of this property. This is, and as you guys can see, also, I don't know if you guys can notice, but those are brand new townhouses that they built right next to the property. Also, behind this deal, I don't know if you guys can see in between those two buildings, but that is also brand new construction of townhomes right next to this property. So one common thing you will notice when I do buy property, I do buy it in the path of growth, like massive growth, right? The property that you guys saw before this was also in the path of massive growth, multi-million-dollar homes in the neighborhood. This property is also in the path of massive growth. There's brand new construction behind me over there, and there's brand new construction behind the buildings over there. And the reason for that is I actually pick these. This is part of my due diligence process, but I actually pick all my properties based off of dirt value as well, which means that the dirt value is high enough that if anything were to ever happen to the property, I could sell the dirt and still make money. Now, I make money on these deals based on a cap, of course, but when I do my due diligence, I am looking at the dirt, which is why dirt here is extremely expensive, and it makes sense to build brand new homes in the area. And these are going to be about $500,000 a pop per townhome or more. And you know, this is kind of how I pick my property. I'm going to take you guys to the third and final property, but before then, we may or may not pass by a couple of industrial sites that I've been watching in the area. I'm going to make a decision on my way there. So I had to take a quick stop at this car wash. It's called Swish, and the reason I stopped at this car wash, I know my car's beeping like crazy, but the reason I stopped at this car wash is because I am struggling to find a place to wash my SLS. And the reason for that is you guys know that I need to wash my car on a regular basis, and I love going through the automatic car wash. I really genuinely do not have time to go through other car washes. So this is the car wash. Hold on guys, I need to figure this out. So this is the perfect wash, I think, for me. And so I'm gonna be bringing my SLS over here in a little bit to see if I can wash it without any issues, because I am struggling with the car wash situation with my SLS as of right now. So let's hope this place does a good job. If it does, then this is where I'm going to be bringing my SLS in a little bit. And I know a lot of you are going to put hate comments because I drive an SLS, basically like almost like a $300,000 car through the car wash. But really, I don't have time for washing cars, and this is the only way I know how that is efficient and that I'm okay with. So we did just test the G-Wagon at the car wash, and I think it's gonna work because look at this. The SLS is dirty. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this car is filthy. And that is the only car wash that I can take it to, so let's go and get that taken care of ASAP. Cold start, SLS. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love the sound. Love the way it closed the door. And of course we have the 1972 Silver Arrow SL sitting right there in the garage. And the G-Wagon in the back over there. Beautiful. Alright guys, I know I'm gonna get the hate. I know some of you are gonna hate me, but we are in the SLS and we are getting a drive-through car wash. Now this has been convenient. I've been doing this in my AMG GTS. I feel like the SLS is just a little lower than the AMG GTS that I had. So this is a much better car wash because it is actually on belts. It's not on that little track that ends up damaging the vehicle underbody. So I think this is a much better way for me to get a car wash, except for the paint scratching part which is happening right now. But I think we should be okay overall. Also, by the way, driving this car compared to the G-Wagon, it's just a completely different animal. I am such a GT Grand Tourer driver that I love this seating position. I love sitting all the way in the back, and I love this driving position. It is exactly what I like about this car, and it reminds me, every time I sit in it, it reminds me exactly why I bought it. Ooh, there's a little bit of torture going on the vehicle. I hope that's okay. I think we should be fine. And of course, we've got a lot of stuff going on as well, which is okay, which is totally fine. Okay, watch. And I know I'm supposed to drive that third property, but I don't think I have enough time to get it done in this video. I may do it in a future video, and we'll cover that in a little more detail, but at least I'm gonna give you guys the numbers and I'm gonna share the details on that property with you guys right now. So the third property that we did sell was also an apartment community. Actually, I sold that property to the person who sold it to me. This is the funniest thing ever. So I bought that property a year and a half ago, and then the person who sold me that apartment community decided that they wanted to buy it back for whatever reason, or they felt like they were missing out in the world of real estate. So they did end up buying the property from me. So I'm gonna make maybe a more detailed video on that because I think that story is just ridiculously funny. The seller of my deal actually ended up buying my apartment community from me. Anyways, we made a 70% return on that deal, and I only held it for a year and a half. So year on year, I think that return was about 50% or so, and I'm really happy. And that was actually my best performing deal that I held for the least amount of time, and you know, we made really good money on it. So I'm really excited about that. And of course, we love making money together. So the investors on that deal ended up making a significant amount of return. Those are the types of returns actually that I am making in my office warehouse developments. That's why I like my office warehouse developments much more than the apartment community, because although the ROI are triple digits in a lot of the apartment communities, just that the holding time is significantly higher than what I am used to in the office warehouse world. So I would rather hold the property for less amount of time and flip it than hold it for longer. And I know a lot of people here, or a lot of people generally in real estate, like cash flow. I'm completely the opposite. I have no interest in cash flow. I'd rather make that big chunk of money and get out of the property as quickly as I can. So yeah guys, so I hope I shared enough information on the 3 transactions that I started off 2022 with. Like I said earlier, this is my first video. It is a big deal for me, and I'm starting the year out strong. I do have a money goal, and I do plan on achieving it this year. And fingers crossed, we get there, and we get there together. And just like that, I'll see you guys next